Imran Khan has given hope to millions of Pakistani people around the world with promises of a new Pakistan. He has promised to end corruption and improve education, health and the environment. The charismatic former cricket captain began his political campaign 20 years ago to end the endemic corruption in Pakistan. With Nawaz Sharif and some members of his family jailed on corruption charges and the Bhutto family hardly anywhere to be seen, the victory of Imran Khan has broken the traditional clan loyalty and family politics, well, for the time being at least. But many analysts have argued that his political fortunes only arose as he warmed towards the military, which is widely seen to be in control of the main levers of power in Pakistan and has dominated foreign and security policies for decades. I'm Kasim, this is KJ Vids, and in this video we will examine the role of the military in Pakistan's politics. The Pakistani military has always played an important role in Pakistani politics. For nearly 70 years, the army has defined the country's national security priorities, sometimes from the seat of government itself, and many commanders have been placed in prominent economic and political positions. The army has actually been in charge for a combined 33 years of Pakistan's 71-year history. In 1977, for example, Chief of Army Staff General Zia-ul-Haq capitalized on domestic political unrest and began an 11-year tenure as president by overthrowing Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was tried on charges of political motivated murder and was hanged in April 1979. In October 1999, when Sharif, the Prime Minister at the time, fired the then Chief of Army Staff General Pervez Musharraf for his role in the Kargil War against India, Musharraf overthrew Sharif in a bloodless coup. He arrested Sharif, tried him in court and banished him from politics until 2007, when he returned from exile in Saudi Arabia. There are several factors that contribute towards the military's dominance in Pakistan. After achieving independence, Pakistan inherited only 17% of colonial India's revenue streams, but 33% of the military. This gave the armed forces, who were already the most organised entity in the new country, considerable advantage in the new government. Secondly, Kashmir, the only Muslim-majority state left in India after the partition, was another contributing factor. Its Hindu Maharaja, the state ruler, delayed deciding which state to join, but when Pakistani tribal militias, aided by Pakistani soldiers, invaded Kashmir, the Maharaja agreed to join India in exchange for protection against Pakistani forces. These factors inform two beliefs that have profoundly shaped Pakistan's political development, namely that India is an existential threat and that the military must be Pakistan's guardian against that threat. It is little wonder then that Pakistan became a national security state during its early years, subordinating economic to military improvement and tilting the balance of power away from civilian rule. Military rule also constructed a coherent national identity for Pakistan, composed of diverse ethnic and linguistic groups including the Pashtun, Punjabis, Sindhis, Balochis and Bengalis. Pakistan was inherently diverse. The military feared that any sort of threat towards their control would empower these groups, weakening the centralized authority necessary to build the fledgling nation. The military therefore opted to unite Pakistan under the banner of Islam. The further partition of Pakistan's eastern territory in 1971 into the independent nation of Bangladesh reaffirmed the perception that India, which assisted the Bengali independence movement and ethnic regionalism, were threats to national sovereignty. By galvanizing support in the name of Islam, the military could use jihadist proxies as a tactic of asymmetric warfare to match India's greater military capabilities as well. And it did, first by dispatching jihadis to undermine the secular Bengali independence movement, then later with the aid of $3.2 billion in US funds, President Zia-ul-Haq trained, armed and dispatched mujahideen from Pakistan to Afghanistan to fight in the Soviet-Afghan War. After the Soviets retreated in 1989, Islamabad continued to employ its jihadist strategy, using the Taliban in Afghanistan to gain strategic depth and to have an ally in case it went to war with India. Ultimately, the military employed some jihadists to gain influence in Afghanistan and others to fight Indian forces in Kashmir. But even though the military is the most powerful institution in the country, the potential for another military takeover of the government is low. First, the military's image was tarnished by Musharraf's controversial 9-year tenure. His decision to liberalise the media early in his term helped to undermine his efforts to sack Chief Justice Iftikhar Muhammad Chowdhury in March 2007. Media coverage shifted public opinion against Musharraf, and the Supreme Court reinstated Chowdhury 4 months later. Musharraf's decision to suspend the constitution on November 3, 2007 further galvanized public opinion against him and by extension against his military rule. In 2008, the coalition government led by Asif Ali Zardari of the Pakistan's People's Party moved to impeach Musharraf. He could have dismissed the government, but instead he listened to the Chief of Army Staff General Ashfaq Kayani and the Army Corps commanders who advised against taking such a drastic measure. This episode suggested that the military had grown more sensitive to public opinion and more accepting of forces that constrain civilian political parties. Accordingly, Musharraf resigned to avoid impeachment, and the military safeguarded his passage into self-imposed exile in London. When Musharraf returned in 2013, an election tribunal banned him from running for office, ending his political ambitions. The military did not intervene to challenge the court's decision. Moreover, Kayani, the former Chief of Army Staff, wanted to improve the army's reputation in the aftermath of Musharraf's resignation and allowed the civilian government to handle the country's economic and energy challenges. He also served under former President Asif Ali Zardari, whose administration completed its 5-year term in 2013 before ceding power to Sharif's administration, making this the first consecutive democratic transition in Pakistan's history. In his last term, Nawaz Sharif attempted to assert civilian control over the military, but it failed, turning him into an intensely hated figure amongst the military establishment. Imran Khan, on the other hand, had no issues about working with the military. In his words, he said, "I think a democratic government rules from moral authority. And if you don't have moral authority, then those who have the physical authority assert themselves. In my opinion, the army is Pakistan's army and not an enemy army. I will carry the army with me." His warmness towards the military led Imran Khan's political fortunes to rise, eventually giving him victory in the recent elections. Hassan Rizvi, an analyst based in Lahore, said Mr. Khan's political stock has risen as his relationship with the military has gotten closer. Imran has realised that if you want to run Pakistan, you have to work with the military because of the internal and external challenges. Mr. Rizvi said, "By fighting with the military, you cannot run the state." Those relations have improved despite Imran Khan's long opposition to the military's operations against Taliban insurgents in the tribal regions bordering Afghanistan and its cooperation with the United States. Though the likelihood of a coup is low, there are other factors that suggest the military will remain politically powerful, beginning with the army's vested economic interests. The army controls 1/3 of all heavy manufacturing and owns more than $20 billion in assets, including more than 12 million acres of public land, according to some estimates. The army is also a conduit for current and retired officers to serve in a range of industries such as banking, manufacturing, farming and insurance. Welfare foundations are the main way through which the military manages its business interests. For example, the Fauji Foundation serves more than 9 million beneficiaries and operates Fauji's cereals, foundation gas and the FF Seed Multiplication Farm, which harvests sugarcane. The military uses the same rationale to justify its economic role that it has used for its political intervention, namely that politicians are corrupt while the military is not. Whilst there's a lot more to be said, it is clear from Pakistan's history that the military has played and will continue to play a pivotal role in the politics of Pakistan, with or without Imran Khan. The combining factors of its perceived regional security interests, its own economic interests and a shaky foreign policy that is caught up in balancing the conditional relationships of the two superpowers, America and China, means that the role is critical in the future of Pakistan. How Imran Khan manages the most influential institution of Pakistan for the next few years is yet to be seen. Thanks for watching another KJ video. We would love to hear your views on the situation in the comments below. If you would like to see more videos like this, please help us by supporting our crowdfunding campaign on fundmypage.com/KJ Vids.